Good morning. As this planet Earth is moving ever higher in consciousness, we are asked to raise our consciousness too. So, how do you raise your consciousness? You raise your consciousness by cultivating that which is deep within. It is your soul connection to the monad and to source. It is building the Antakarana bridge, that's the bridge of light between you and the divine, and then also anchoring all of this firmly into Mother Earth. That means that your upper chakras are all open, and it is an energy flow that then opens up. Your higher chakras are the chakras that are the gateways, the portals to higher consciousness. That is your stellar gateway, your soul star chakra, your causal chakra, your crown chakra. And then for all the other chakras, there's an extra one which is just beneath the solar plexus, which is your navel chakra, and then your sacral chakra, your root chakra, and the Asta chakra. And then you have to have all of these channels open and right into the middle of the earth, where the sun crystal is. If those upper channels are not open, you cannot really transmit and you cannot anchor that light in. It is something that we have forgotten. It is something that mankind has not done for years, and in certain pockets of mystery schools and so on, this has been opened. And with Alice Bailey and her books, that a lot of that has been implemented and brought into human consciousness. With that, the heart opens. And when the heart energies open, then there is a connection between the heart and the psychic abilities, which lie in your pineal and pituitary glands. If your pineal and pituitary glands are just opening up and not connected to the heart, then the danger is always that the mind will rule. And the mind wants to control everything because it wants to put everything in boxes. For the last thousands of years, we have been ruled by the mind, as men took that mind and brought that into technology without the heart. We're returning now to the heart consciousness, to the goddess consciousness, which means that your heart and mind have to be married. They've got to work in tandem. If you feel something deep inside you, and you feel the love in your heart, and you then create with the mind, then that heart energy infuses on the mind energy, and it becomes a higher consciousness energy. We have got sacred portals within our bodies which need to be activated now. And as we step into the golden age, more and more of these portals will get activated. In reality, we have 330 chakras that we can still open up. And we're only now we're at the very, very tip of the iceberg. We haven't even got near to even deciphering the top yet. So this is what is happening with this whole consciousness shift. It is a happening that is deep within. Because if within does not change, the outer is not going to change. For every bit of releasing that you do of old karma or old clearances or old emotional stuck pain, you are raising your consciousness. Now people always ask me, now how can I do that? There are many methods of doing that. First of all, it's going deep down and ask yourself, who pushes my buttons the most? What is it that I have not forgiven? What emotional pain am I carrying with me like excess baggage and have not dissolved? What is it that is keeping me in fear? And believe me, that we have brought so much into that fear consciousness that some of us are actually fearing to live their highest potential for fear of what other people will say about that. Well, let me tell you something. People are so busy with their own lives that they couldn't be bothered what you do with your life, and that's the truth. Because everybody is always more concerned about what's going on in themselves as they're more concerned about what's going on in the others. And if somebody is resenting you claiming your own power, then that means that they feel they are threatened by you if you do that. Why are they threatened? Because then they will have to kick up in gear as well. And most of them don't want to do that. They want to keep you prisoner on that level. It all comes back to self-empowerment. But this is a beautiful and uplifting empowerment. That means you get past all that negative stuff, that negative ego, and you start living in a higher state where there is balance. It doesn't mean that you deny the shadow. It means you incorporate the shadow and you own that. In other words, if you see something in another one that is pushing your buttons like anything, then own that in you because you have it in the same measure as anybody else. You are the other person and they are you. So then instead of resenting that, embrace that and say, I am just as much whatever as the other person because I have it in me. You have a Hitler in you just like you have a Buddha in you, and you are all of that. When we start earning that shadow and we start working with it, we become freer. My soul readings always point back to the patterns that were created in past lives, which need to be dissolved now, and healthier patterns made, and a more beautiful lifestyle emerges. The more you connect to your soul and the more you start freeing yourself from all the bondages and the illusion that this world has, the freer you become, and the more you become aware of what consciousness is and how that lives in you. And you look at the world with different eyes. You seek the beauty in it. You seek the peace in it. And inner peace and equilibrium and happiness always comes inside. It never comes from outside. If you seek that outside yourself, you mean that you feel that you're not good enough inside. So it's all about worthiness. And when we claim our worthiness, then the rest comes. And we attract people to us who are in the same wavelength as us. And that is the incredible beauty of life at this time. We all have it in ourselves. There is not one single soul who has not got light in themselves and has not got love in themselves. And you know what? The divine always, always, always sees the perfection inside of us.